Okay, so this is my 2006 Subaru Impreza WRX. I've been having some small issues with it. A couple of months of starting off showing the check engine light with an OBD scanner tool. It told me it was a 0442 small evap leak. O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto Parts, I can't remember. They told me it was probably a bad gas cap. But I checked out the gas cap. If you look at it, I'd expect it to be dry or twisted or whatever, but this all looks good. And when I put it on nice and tightly, and then I erase the error code by doing the following. Open up your hood and disconnecting the negative battery. And if you leave that off for 30 minutes, it will erase the code. So that's what I did. Then when you start the engine back up, or just make contact, put it to on, the engine light is gone. So that happened as well. Remove the code, the gas cap was back on, nice and tight, and the code came back even still. So what else happened is, whenever I drive the car and I put it in my garage, turn it off, it seems to smell like fuel a little bit. So adding all these things up, I came to the conclusion that there must be something in the gas tank, either the tank itself or the connection to the fuel pump, fuel filter. So what I'm gonna do is I bought a fuel filter. I'm gonna open up the fuel filter part of the engine or of the gas tank. You can open it up, see if there's any leaks or bad gaskets, and we're gonna replace those. Right, so the easiest way to get these to get the seat off is first of all plug in all the belts. Get it nice and tight. Here underneath, remove these caps. And open up these. Right, so this is a 12mm bolt. Then do the same thing on the other side. And then what you want to do is reach down behind here and pull up the seat cushion. It should come right out. Like this. Need to remove the back part of the seat. Undo that bolt, undo that one, this bolt which is already undone, and then that one underneath the seat belt. What you're going to do then is release all the seatbelt buckles. Let's have some room to move the seat forward. And then back here, you want to pop it up. Do that on the other side too. So reach around with your hand back there. So this is the front, this is the back cover. So what you're doing by lifting it up is you're releasing this hook from there. There's one more hook there and there. Those go into this one and the one on the far side. So you want to lift it up and then out. Okay, what's next? So we're gonna remove this bar from the chassis. So 2 bolts here, 2 down here. When you take out the bar, you're ended up with this thing that's stuck in here. Get some pliers and take them out like this. That's it. Get the whole assembly up. Grab a Phillips head screwdriver and get these screws loose. Then what you want to do, if you look down here, there's bolts around the side. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you want to release those right after you try to start the engine to get all the gas pressure out. Now how you're going to do that is going to release all the power to the fuel pump. So now the fuel pump isn't getting any power, so once we start the engine will suck all the fuel lines empty, at least dissipate the overpressure. Obviously put the negative battery terminal back in. And then it should not start at all, and the fuel is showing totally empty. Then disconnect the battery again, like so. Right now all these little bolts are 8mm. Right, what we're gonna do then is disconnect the fuel lines. So the lines will be disconnected by these two. You can pull those tabs inward, this one as well, and then just pull it out. On this one you have to take some needle nose pliers, pinch these together, move this metal clip backwards, and then pry it off. If the hose doesn't move around the metal part, just grab some needle nose pliers and pinch lightly in the hose and just rotate it sideways until there's some motion. Then they should come off. What you also want to do is use a rag below it, because there will be some fuel spilling out still. Right, same goes for the other one. Not much fuel coming out here. Now when I opened this up, I could tell there was no fuel at all here, so the leak can't have been here, what causes the smell. But we'll just continue to take that one off and see what's under there. You can move all the tubes to the sides, and all the connectors as well, so it's at least free from this lid, and then we can take it off. Right, so on the specific make and model, there's this little tab over here. I think it's stuck onto one of the fuel lines, so it's a little bit in the way. So what you want to do is get this lid off, get it over top of the screws, and then once it's up here, want to get it around this tab. There it is. This is the fuel filter, this is the pump, this is the coarse fuel filter, pump, fine fuel filter, this is the line to put it to the engine. This part is the part that actually measures how much fuel is still in the tank, the floater, and then there's some return lines and of course the electrical connectors here. Be really careful with this because of this wires here and the reader back there, kind of sensitive. Then I'll remove that screw with the Phillips. Right, I'm having a real hard time getting that screw off. As you can see, it's being stripped almost, so I'll spray it with some PB blaster, penetrating oil. and let it penetrate and sit there for a while. Okay, with some PB blaster and some force, managed to get the screw off. And that part has come off now, that went pretty easily. Now this part. And this is the new part. What I'm seeing right now is that rubber part is not in there. So I'll have to recycle it. So the bigger holes should be on the outside, smaller hole on the inside of the filter. First line up the filter with that hole. I put in the screw. This time I'm not going to make it too tight because I'll never get it off again. Just so it's on there. And then grab the little 7mm. Also, you want to orient this gasket like so that this notch goes in there. That notch rests on top of that one. This notch is over here. Alright, so the little coarse fuel filter was stuck inside there, like an edge of the of one of the fuel basins. You might want to look out for that. It doesn't happen. But the same problem, of course, with the tab. I just got an electrical wire spray. Spray that connection and I'll spray this one as well. Just because some dirt might have gotten in. Don't want that. Right, then tighten all the bolts with 8mm. Connect the battery again. And then obviously it won't start right away because all the fuel has been, well, the fuel pressure is gone. Okay, so whenever you turn the key to on without starting, the fuel pump builds up pressure to the engine. You can actually hear that a little bit. So in the beginning there's a lot of air in the lines. So you do that a couple of times, that should help. And it started off fine. Let's check it out back there. No check engine light. Let's take a look here. No leaks whatsoever. We're gonna put this slab back in. That's one part. Right, those are in. Got that all behind the plastic covers. And tighten these with a 12 millimeter. Alright, then we're gonna get the back cushion, slide it behind. This one especially, this belt. Hook it on these clips. That one there, and here. Alright, make sure the 3 hooks are attached to the back. Get all the seat belts out of the way and just buckle up all the seat belts. So one addition to that, you see this hook that's supposed to go underneath this one, the back cushion. Other than that, it should be quite straightforward. Pop this over top of it. And that's it.